Yeah. You good?
Huh?
You all right?
No, I'm not.
God damn, I'm glad y'all about to set it off. Used to be hard, now you're wet and soft. First you was down with the AK. Now I see you on video with Michelle Ye, looking like straight bozos. I saw it coming when I went solo, but I'm back with my duo, Big Ray, though. That's right, Infidel, Twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horseman. It's the Impact Attack year-end 2020 blowout sale. Everything's got to go 50% off. Shaved heads today with Big Ray and Hacker Hamin. Y'all. Yo, I saw Daniel Price was first on YouTube this morning. Shout out Daniel if you're still hanging with us as we got things going. Had to talk a little biz with my Briz off air. I'm trying to kick out, man. Haven't been feeling too good the last couple of days. So if I look like shit, because I feel like shit. You're looking at me right now. But I'm trying to get my energy up, and I just had my Broster's coffee. So I got the jet fuel pumping through my veins, baby. And, I know this guy's trying to wake up. It's almost the first of the month. It's almost 2021, Ray. Let's fucking get the fuck out of here, man.
Well, Ben Hamin. First and foremost, you got, man, I got to tell you something, bro. I work late. You know the deal, man. I work late, get up early. You and I are in the same boat. You work, I think, way more hours. No, I know you work way more hours than I do. But, let me not be rude. Let me do the whole gimmick. Let me introduce myself, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, I'm the reporter of the people, the man with the plan, Big Ray, here to say to talk some Lucha Libre, which is your Spanish lesson for wrestling today. And this is your Impact Attack. I'm pretty excited about this show today, Ben. But there's a whole lot of other shit. Hey, did you hear about the new law against because the whole handgun gimmick that certain people can't have to have a certain license and stuff to carry. Like in New York City, you can't just conceal and carry. You know that, right? Obviously.
Well, you can.
Well, technically, you really can't unless you're part of law enforcement. Isn't that right?
Well, technically, I guess, but are you into technicalities in 2020 when motherfuckers are about to kick in the door, waving the 4-4, and are you not going to be strapped up, ready to rock? Well, you're gonna find yourself slipping.
Well, my question to you is, how do you obtain a license for a can of Twisted Iced Tea? Have you seen that shit?
No, I haven't seen that. I don't.
You haven't seen it?
You have a license to get a can of Twisted Iced Tea?
Wait, you haven't seen the whole viral shit with the guy?
I got work to do, Ray.
Oh, Ben, I gotta send that to you. There's this dude. He looks like a crackhead Eminem. Okay.
I thought you were going to ask me about a real fucking question of how do I get a piece, and I was going to say buy a 3D printer and then buy the rest of it and fucking make your own pieces, bro. That's all you got to do.
No. I'm sure. I mean, I don't want to say this on air, but I'm sure if I needed one, I could get one. But neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is that you didn't see the fucking video with the dude. So this is like this crackhead Eminem guy walks into a store, right? He starts talking all this shit, and this dude, you see this black dude just standing there, and you could tell the black.
Yeah. He drops an bomb on him, and homeboy fucking cleans his clock. He gives him like 3 or 4 chances. I saw that on World Star like the day it came out.
Dude, he cracked that dude over the face with a fucking can of Twisted Iced Tea, bro.
Yeah, he kept it twisted. There's no doubt about that, bro.
Hashtag keeping it twisted. Ben, what a fucking year, man. 2020. God damn. Don't do that. Don't point that at me. Would you stop?
No, there's no slide on it. It's just the bottom rack.
I don't know what the hell you fucking make in Iraq.
I don't make nothing right now because fucking both printers are down.
Oh, shit. Both of them are down?
Yeah, it's just they're not really that far from repair. It's just I had no time. I work 17 hours a day.
I hear you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't notice, Ben's a little salty this morning. He's not getting a lot of sleep. Look at the bags. Look at the bags under my eyes.
Dude, I had massive migraine last night at 8, and I woke up at 1, like just sweating like I had done, full 40-minute boxing workout, bro. And fucking A, it's nice to lose weight while you sleep, I guess, but I had to get up and take some tension headache medicine, and finally it broke, and I maybe got 2 hours of sleep in the last, 2 days.
Do you have taste in your mouth?
Yeah, I'm fine, man. I don't have any of that. The only thing I have is my voice going because I'm on mic so much. So, I feel Yeah, I think I got a little bit of food poisoning the night before from some chorizo tacos, but yeah, well, that's it.
How many people right now just are picking up their cell phones every 5 minutes looking to see if they got that sweet $600 to buy their PlayStation 5?
Yeah, well, I mean, fuck bitch McConnell. You know what I mean?
That's terrible.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe that guy hasn't been ridden out on a rail in Kentucky long ago. This guy's been a constant problem for America since, and I don't know what secret society keeps him in place. But to me, like he on the top 10 to be hunted off the face of the earth. He's on that list. There's no doubt about that, bro.
I couldn't believe yesterday, for people that don't know and people that don't know what the hell's going on, and we're just talking shit real quick because we have a pretty cool show set up and it's going to run pretty quickly. But
yeah, man.
Like, dude, man, last night, man, I couldn't believe Mitch McConnell just objecting to helping the American people. That's what it was, straight up. Like, he didn't give a fuck.
Him, bro. That's all the secret society, deep state shit where they're making a play against each other and all that shit, bro. Like it's all so fucked up, and then the way the headlines spin it to make it like they're really playing for the people, and it's some shit like that. It's got nothing to do with us, man. It's got all to do with the 300-400 power players who've been making their life and living. Dude, look how long Mitch McConnell's been in office. Look at his worth. Look what he's done. Look who he works with, sellout wise for the fucking lobbyists. Like, they got to be run out, bro. Like, he's definitely one that's got to be burned at the stake, Salem style.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know, man. Like, do you think they're gonna pass? So Mitch McConnell last night,
you're getting your 2 G's one way or the other. You might get 600, and then they pass the torch and run that Cheeto out, and then they'll give you the other 1,400. They'll probably only give you $1,000 because they'll keep the other 400 for themselves, like any mobster would. When you fucking need to go get the shakedown, you'll get your cut, but he's getting his too. So what you should get is 2,000. You'll end up settling for 1,600, and you'll thank them for the other 1,000 as they pat you on the head. It's all this fucking game, bro. When the reality is there's 20 grand in bailout money for each of us. There really, it was that allocated. So are we going to take the 2 grand, come together, strap up, buy the rifle you need to, and invest and go get your other 18 grand? Because it'll only take one night to do it.
Right.
It'll only take one night to show up and put the fear into them, and they'll be cutting big checks.
Are you guys in the Conspiracy Horsemen going to break down this whole pomp and circumstance bullshit that they've been doing?
That in Tennessee, Tennessee.
Oh, underrated song, by the way. Yeah. Why are you talking about the
song? The bombing on Christmas Day in Nashville, which is linked to all this Dominion voting stuff, AT&T, it's 5G is in there too. So that's nuts. And then even in this stimulus bill I was sent this morning, let me get this right.
I can't hit the cough mic. So if I cough live on air, it is what it is, guys. You're going to have to deal with it.
Coronavirus bill started 180-day countdown for UFO disclosures. So, dude, that bill was 5,600 pages. Nobody read it. Nobody did anything. And there's all this fucking pork belly bullshit in there. And that should all be cut too. But here we are, man, with another fucking story about it. Let me see.
Ben, while you're looking that up, I'm going to refresh the memories of the people that have been listening to us from the beginning. And we had a conversation 2 years ago. And I love bringing this back because I love being right when it comes to something like this. And I had said, and I quote, that by the year 2023, we will know that aliens exist, and they'll be out in the light. Like, we'll be with them, possibly even working with them.
New York Post to post from coast to coast. President Trump signs Sunday on the $2.3 trillion COVID-19 relief and government funding bill started a 180-day countdown for the Pentagon and spy agencies to say what they know about UFOs. The provision received very little attention, in part because it wasn't included in the text of the 5,593-page legislation, but as a committee comment attached to the Annual Intelligence Authorization Act, which was rolled into the massive bill. So play within a play. The Senate Intelligence Committee, chaired by Senator Marco Rubio, said in the comment that it directs the Director of National Intelligence, in consultation with the Secretary of Defense and the heads of other such agencies, to submit a report within 180 days of the date of the enactment of the act to the Congressional Intelligence and Armed Services Committee on the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon. The report must address and, quote, observe airborne objects that have not yet been identified, and should be included in, quote, detailed analysis of unidentified phenomena, data collection, A, geospatial intelligence, B, signals of intelligence, C, human intelligence, and D, measurement and signals in intelligence. So all of the technology, human reports, everything all combined. The report must also contain, quote, a detailed analysis of data of the FBI, which was derived from investigations of intrusions of unidentified aerial phenomena, data over restricted U.S. airspace, and assessment of whatever an unidentified aerial phenomena activity may be attributed to or one or more foreign adversaries. Former Pentagon and legislative officials confirmed Tuesday the publication to debrief the package begins the clock on the UFO disclosures. Defense Department spokesperson Sue Gao told the Post, quote, we are aware that the Senate Select Committee and Intelligence Committee for Report on the Intelligence Authorization Act for the fiscal 2021 included a requirement for the Director of National Intelligence, in consultation with the Secretary of Defense, to submit a report on unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAPs, within 180 days of this enactment. So they confirmed it, Pentagon. And dude, I got to start reading Tim Alberino's Birthright book, the post-human apocalypse, see what's coming. So, dude, just insane. You think the world's nuts now? You got a countdown. June 30th. Pretty much is when we're gonna fucking find something out here right before. What's right before? What's June 30th right before, Ray?
July 4th,
which is also known as
Independence Day.
Okay, so here we are. Here we are, Briz.
Wow, dude. 2020.
You can't, dude, wrap your fucking head around that and then talk about the best of wrestling in 2020. What the fuck, bro?
Well, I'm gonna stooge this off to the fans and the friends here. When me and Ben, shit, man, it's a lot to mull over. When me and Ben started this thing, we used to have a segment called the 3 Count. A couple of people were asking about it, so I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Hit me up, let me know on Facebook, Twitter, on the Hamin Media discussion group. Do you want the 3 Count to be the top 3 stories of the day, whichever stories we decide to choose, or the top 3 pro wrestling stories of the day? I'm gonna have a feeling that it's not gonna have anything to do with pro wrestling.
I don't have any problems with that, man.
Yeah, man, that was the original format of the 3 Count. We're bringing back the 3 Count tonight, or today, or whenever the hell you're listening to this. And we're going to talk the top 3 pro wrestling moments of the year. But speaking of pro wrestling, Ben, I wanted to shift over really quickly. I didn't watch last night.
Me neither, just a little bit. But what I saw, I popped huge on, dude. And it was 10 seconds.
What I'm talking about is the AEW tribute to Brody Lee. Are we talking about the same thing?
Oh, I thought I was talking about Impact last night.
No, I didn't watch Impact at all.
No, what I popped on in Impact was I just turned on, had a splitting headache, was hanging with the Dogs of War. I was like, let me see. And it was Young Bucks versus Motor City Machine Guns. And then that ended and they were doing New Year's resolutions. And fucking Jordan Grace comes up on screen and goes, my New Year's resolution is to not respond to Twitter comments so much in 2021. And fucking that was it. That was it, bro. I wonder if they made her say that or she was saying that as a rib back to them, because I'm sure they've had that conversation. But either way, that fucking made me laugh, bro.
Yo, Ben, really quickly, man. I want fans, friends, people. I want you guys to join us here live on Twitch and on YouTube. But right here on Twitch, I want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Homeboy 88, the Real Plaza, the man that does. Say again.
He's in the house, yeah, man. Media M5, Daniel Price on YouTube. Who else did I see? I'm not sure if they're still with us. Mr. Homeboy Fudge 420.
We got God, we got Stranger. We got the Stranger. He's in the house, and also
we got to get a promo to him.
Yes, we do. Colin, aka the Penis, Colin Weissong.
Ron Booth, I see you too, homeboy, but appreciate you guys. Jordy Delgado, that's a name I hadn't seen. He's checking in on YouTube as well. So y'all out to you, Jordy. Appreciate it. We're 22, 23 strong here already this morning for Impact Attack, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And Colin, you suck. Hey, everybody in Twitch right now, if you want to go at Colin, he's at Wrestling Redneck. You can do that. Just make fun of
Colin Weissong on Twitter as well.
The other day, because we chat a lot, and I call him, and me, him, and somebody else. We have this iPhone group messenger thing, and we sometimes do FaceTime and shit, and it's funny because you know how we joke around about how his kids always change.
Yeah, well, it's not a joke; it's real.
Well, his wife is not the same person anymore.
I'm supposed to be shocked by that.
It was a man.
Yeah, well, sometimes it is, and sometimes it's super. So for that 1 month, he had like 4 different wives, and they were all super hot Russian broads. So you take the good with the bad.
Well, I mean, this dude was wearing a fucking mini skirt and had a mustache, so it was weird. Just saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, how did the mini skirt fit you all right, or no? Was it tight?
Well, you can see the gimmick right through the front of the. It was. No, it was disturbing. But anyway, listen, Ben, let's jump into this, man. We've been talking so much shit, man. It's great to be here with you, man. It is the final Impact Attack of 2020. And you know what, man? Let's just talk about our 3 favorite moments in pro wrestling, our 3 moments in pro wrestling. And dude, I have no notes. We're just going to spitball this.
He's politicking Weissong is for voting for the Hammies, and that's coming to the close at the end of the year. The link's up in Hamin Media Discussion Group, Hamin Media Group Twitter. You can find it. I'm sure somebody can post it in the chat here as well. But politicking hard for the Hammies. All 3 of us are up for Hammies this year for different personality reasons and shows, I believe. So, get over there and vote. And I guess we've had over 400 votes. With Homie. So awesome interaction, bro. You know what I mean? That's
great.
Really great stuff from the community. But vote for the Hammies, closing out here. Probably about 24, 36 hours left.
Oh shit, man. I mean, I wouldn't mind winning a hammy. I love ham, by the way.
Big time.
Good Christmas ham. I had 2 of them. My mother made one, and Jen made one with the fucking pineapples and little cherry gimmicks on them. Oh,
I like it once in a while like that because I got a slice because the wives like it, even though they're not supposed to eat it. But they bailed to go on vacations to get away from me. I sent them out and I just put it in the freezer. So I don't know. I never am like, what else do I want it with? I only really like it around the holiday time,
It's true. It's one of those things that you don't eat all year round, but when it comes around, my mother makes this thing. It's amazing. It's a Puerto Rican dish called pastelón, which is not pasteles, 2 different things. So pastelón, it's basically like a Puerto Rican lasagna where instead of pasta, it's made with sweet plantains.
That sounds good.
It's fantastic, dude. So it's sweet plantains, and it's meat and cheese. It's fan-fucking-tastic. But also, you're on that argument.
No water, just meat. That's all he wants. That's all he needs.
I tell you, shucky ducky quack quack. I mean,
Gam Wolfers just posted on Twitch the link on the Survey Monkey there to go vote for the Hammies. But do what you gotta do, man.
I wouldn't mind winning. That would be nice. I wouldn't mind being recognized every once in a while.
Yeah, until you get recognized all the time, then it sucks.
So what are some of your favorite moments this year, Ben? Like in pro, like is there anything that sticks, whether it be like favorite or like something that really fucked with your head? Just throw something at me.
For me, and it's not just because we're talking Impact Attack, the best thing of the year was Wrestle House, hands down. It plays into my improv comedy, Worlds Collide in the 3rd act of the Herald, and it was the only piece of long-term year business that was done. Something that was stuck to. There was a roadmap. I'm sure they had to make some changes based on, speaking out, Me Too movement, all that shit, but they still fucking nailed it and hit it out of the park. Kind of coming down the backside of the mountain, we left a lot of meat on the fucking table, on the bone.
No bread, no water, just meat. That's all he wants. That's all he needs.
They're like they made us love Johnny Bravo, but then when the wedding stuff happened, he was kind of a real prick. Like
Right.
they had us built there and the love, and then he gets killed and he comes back super fast. And we just left a lot of good scene work that could still be going on. Bravo could still be in a coma right now and it wouldn't have jumped the shark yet. So there's always more to punch stuff up, and there's 1,000 reasons why it might have got shelved because of AEW plans, but that's my number one. And I do, even though, go ahead.
No, I was going to throw something at you, but please continue.
Even though, I'm partial, I got to say my number two is obviously Serena Deeb. That is actually, per my personal number one, is Serena Deeb in AEW, finally getting the spotlight on her that she should have had a decade ago, coming out of the CM Punk, what have you, and politics and all that raised their head, and she lost that contract herself. But I've been there since she was in LA rebuilding her mind for 2 years, and she lost a lot, you know what I mean, and became a new better version of herself. And then I mean, this, we helped to get her to the Mae Young Classic only to put somebody over, but she's so good they offer her a coaching job, which is awesome. But that still sidelines her. That doesn't put the spotlight on her when she can outwork Bailey, Sasha, Charlotte. Her best match I've ever seen her have was with Asuka in Japan at the Indies there. So, why wouldn't you put that on there? And so she's still not getting the light shine on her that she should have. So finally now in AEW, and in less than 5 matches, becomes the best wrestler in AEW, hands down. Like, there's no denying that. So that's a huge moment for me because I care so much about her future and making sure she's taken care of the right way. So that's a big one for me this year. And then my other big one is kind of where we're going business wise with Hamin Media Group. Group to be plugged into to be plugged into Russo brand, and now working with Stevie Ray, going to be working with Vito, working with Rip's brand, working on Russo's brand, and then maybe 4 or 5 others coming down the pipe. ODB, there's some I don't want to stooge off, but like a lot of work ahead, man. So in wrestling, those are definitely my 3 big ones. I'd have to say on camera, personal, and then business wise.
Fudge 420, he's putting over All Elite. Scooby-Doo. That's that Tony Khan throwing injunctions at the people.
Well, I guess those are just little creative things. Like, there's bigger stuff at play, you know what I mean, all the time. Even the AEW crossover into Impact is really a bigger, wow.
I'm going to put over one of my moments, the Me Too movement in pro wrestling.
You liked it? No.
I'm talking about moments. That's why.
Okay.
I said negative or positive.
Okay.
And this one was impactful. No pun intended. It was a big deal this year. And we had a lot of indie companies go under, coming off of 2019, 2020. A lot of the landscape of professional wrestling really changed a lot. And the way people talk to each other on Twitter and the way people communicate and the way the fans interact with the wrestlers and the wrestlers with the fans, and like a lot
no live shows at all. No crowd.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Me Too movement combined with the coronavirus. Wrestling has changed, and 2020 is my moment, one of my moments in wrestling. Just like the year itself, it's changed the entire way we look at professional wrestling. Will WWE ever go back to doing house shows? Who knows? They may never do it again. Right?
That's a huge opportunity. That's money left on the table. And if you got $7 billion, are you going to start touring?
Do you have to? No.
Can you? Will we ever have shows again? Will we even have concerts again? Will you ever be able to go to NFL or Major League Baseball again?
I hope so, man.
You can hope in one hand and shit in the other and see which one stacks up higher.
Well, another moment I wanted to talk to you about, and something that I'm gonna throw it at you as an in-ring performer, as somebody who's been there, somebody who's written wrestling, somebody who's done everything in wrestling.
Yalla. What's good, buddy?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. We're on air right now. It's doing the Impact Attack.
Oh, nice. How was Impact this week?
It's all recap. If you got me on speaker, could you take me off?
Oh, no, you're not on speaker.
Oh, weird. I'm hearing myself.
You too.
Okay, well, I don't. You're in my head. Well, tell you what. Call me later.
All right, I will, buddy, for sure. I just wanted to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas too.
Yalla.
Later.
Jamin Olivencia.
Oh, dude. That's not cool.
Yeah, well, it's too cool.
Did you notice that the one time I'm on with you, he actually picked up the phone?
He called me.
Oh, I knew that. Oh, well, maybe he knew I was on. Then I would like to say Jamin.
Just text.
Jamin was one of my first guests ever when I was at onewrestling.com. Like, we developed that relationship. Isn't it funny, Ben?
Another guy who should have been shining bright 10 years ago, who is still pioneering his own path and now doing incredible work, video wise and inspirational speaker wise, but like pretty much had his throat cut by Triple H. And, the guy had money written all over him. He would have actually made 205 Live worth watching.
Easy. He was, it's weird because I look back at it now and it's like, I met Jamin maybe 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago when I first interviewed him, and look at the connection. Remember how we always talk about how the good will always find each other?
Yeah.
We established that relationship. I established a relationship with Jamin, and now
crazy. I met Jamin 14 years ago, dude. How fast time goes by.
Dude, we're fucking
years ago I met Jamin. It's even weird to just say that. Like, and that's only 2006, really. And I might have even been before that. It might have been 2005, but I was just going down to OVW to check it out. No, it's probably 2006. So
we're old,
big time. What do you think? Should I get rid of the beard, bro?
What do you mean get rid of the beard? Like cut it off for real?
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Well, how would the wives feel about that?
They'd be ecstatic.
All right, so if you, how long would it take you to grow that back?
This is 3 years.
So I've seen you without a beard.
No.
You're actually, listen. I showed Jen a picture of you with the beard and without the beard. And I also showed my mom
really
a picture of you without the beard. And I'll forget about what Jen. You know what my mother says?
What's that?
She said it in Spanish, but I'm going to try to. She says, and I quote, "Man, he's really good looking. He's very handsome. Why does he have that thing on his face to make him look ugly?"
That's pretty much it.
I don't know, dude. Talk about baby face. Have you ever seen Ben without? I'll never post it. But God, you are a handsome gentleman.
But I had hair then too, and now I don't. So
all right. So if you cut it, I wouldn't get rid of the
5 o'clock shadow beard my whole life. With it, I would just have a real short, tight beard.
Yeah, like a short, tight. Maybe you want to go with the goatee, the full on Stone Cold.
I used to do that, and I don't. It's all right, but it's like every fucking bald guy rocks the fucking goatee and shit. Plus, that's not very Hamin. But I also am like, should I stop fully with it and fucking well, that's pathetic.
No shit.
And be ripping Russo's boy and start just really banging on the industry on every show that I'm on.
I would be interested,
because here's the thing: Muslims don't have much heat right now. They unless there's a fucking major CIA op terrorist attack to throw us back into them with the boogeyman. Like, I'm just keeping Bin Laden's spirit alive at this point.
Ben, what if you were possessed by the spirit of Mitch McConnell, like become like a super right-wing Republican type? You cut the fucking beard off, you wear suits to the ring, like a real fucking
I don't want to flex politics. If I'm going to be a dick, I'm just going to shoot on wrestling like I do on Russo brand in here.
I don't know, man. I see money. I see money in right wing Ben.
I could, but I'm not gonna fucking worry about like a whole new gimmick. Like I'm either gonna do shooter shit or else I'm just gonna be Hamin forever. That's kind
of Stranger says braid your beard.
I've had it braided. It sucks. You know, it's like a pirate shit.
Yeah, man,
or like a Mark who just went to Jamaica. When I go to Jamaica, every fucking woman is like, yeah, man, you let me braid your beard. So beautiful. I'm like, yeah, it is beautiful. I go, why would I mess up perfection? She's like, oh yeah, it looks so nice. And they fucking all pop for it. But
I got to tell you, for people who haven't
pop for it too when I'm down there. Like,
I've hugged Ben on the kayfabe, and that beard is like a fucking pillow. It's beautiful.
It needs some oil right now, but
no, but it's a beautiful. Anyway, so I wanted to talk to you about something that the wrestling fans have really wanted for a long time. And they got it this year. And I wanted to get your honest opinion on the heel turn of Roman Reigns, which is one of my big moments of 2020.
Yeah. I mean, he's a heel, but that was just because they put him with Paulie and did that shit. You know, it's great. He's finally got the acting chops after a decade that he should have. And I don't know if he got a coach or whatever he did, but his delivery is so much more natural and believable. And there's so much they could do on a Sopranos level with that character and really start building the family. But they already missed an opportunity. We talked about this on Russo Brand. I'll stooge it off because I talked about this scene before on Russo Brand. We just had Christmas. This guy's the head of the table. The what?
He's your tribal chief.
You are my tribal chief.
So why didn't we see him at the head of the table being the tribal chief? Why didn't we see Christmas celebration with Afa, Sika, Rikishi, Tamina, Naya? The Rock calls in on Skype or whatever, you know what I mean? Or FaceTime. Fucking Jay and Jimmy, all the kids, and have these scenes that are like when Tony Soprano's doing the grilling and shit in the backyard because it's Meadows' graduation or whatever, and everyone's running around and having a good time. But then he turns to Silvio and says something very serious about a murder or something they got to do, or a truck or heist or something. But then, boom, they're right back into cooking sausages and being, you know, the family men. Why aren't we getting these fucking scenes, bro? I heard they want to tie Sasha to Roman and the power couple. What the fuck are you doing? Why do you have something real? Go with what's fucking real, you morons.
Yeah.
And it's all right there in layers. Nobody wants to see Sasha tied to them. It's Tamina and Naya is the bloodline. And Tamina got herself in great shape. I saw her a month ago in some get over, and they took her right off TV. Now's the time to tell those stories, bro. So you don't just say I'm the head of the table, the tribal chief, and then not show the tribe. The Rock could have called in and wished everybody fucking Merry Christmas.
Sure.
And Roman's reaction could have been like, this motherfucker trying to steal my spotlight.
My God.
Without saying nothing, you could have just done it with a look. And that's what Gandolfini does better than anybody in any scene. He can just look at, you see his reaction, and it tells the whole story. The best acting we do is when we say nothing at all. So they've missed. They cannot even get the smallest things right that make the most detail happen.
I could see it. I could see like his cousins, the Usos, marking out for The Rock on Skype, and Naya marking out for The Rock, and then oh my gosh, and then even have The Rock's daughter.
All that, make it the real family stuff, how they would. And you have him in the back, and you don't even need to like close up on him. You just know that he's in there, and later you use that footage. And this is from The Sopranos too, when Tony's thinking about how guys were reacting at him at a fucking poker game. And he goes back and relives it in his mind. He told a stupid joke just to see who would laugh because he's the boss. And the joke wasn't even funny. And he goes around in slow motion. Then he gets to Feech Lamana. And Feech Lamana's got a fucking scowl on his face like, fuck this motherfucker. While everybody else is laughing. You replay that exact fucking scene in slow motion coming back. and you go through, everybody's like, yeah, The Rock is checking in for Christmas, and you breeze by and you go slow and you see Roman's face and it ain't nothing. There's no yay about it. And then you keep going, bro. Like that's the quality of work that we should be doing.
That's the thing that, you know, I'm sure you guys out there have been at a party where, you know, everybody's having a fucking blast and there's that one dude or one chick just brooding in a corner somewhere and they stick out like a sore thumb. They don't have to say anything. They're just sitting there. You see them in deep thought, or like you said, you know, Roman has the ability to give that look, that look like I think his acting has gone to a next level. And I think The Rock has probably helped him a lot with that. Maybe I
agree.
You know, he's I don't think The Rock, maybe The Rock himself, maybe he you know, said, hey, this is my coach, this is my acting coach,
yes,
you know,
because on top of that, I don't know if I told you the Stooge Report was on Russo brand, but McMahon sent accidentally or passive aggressively Russo an email with a script attached to it for Roman Reigns for this smaller, not indie movie, but lower budget. So he's trying to break out and get into movies, and he's got offers. So he's probably working hard with an acting coach to get the fuck out of wrestling. But right now, wrestling is benefiting from it. So if we make movies, pal, let's fucking make some movies around this guy in the scenes, bro.
Hey, dude, we got Evil Jackalopes who asked a question. I'm going to read it verbatim. It says, would they be shallow enough? First and foremost, let me just explain something to you, Jackalope. Yes, they would. Would they be shallow enough to pair him, Roman Reigns, with Sasha if they were caught banging on the road, Sunny Day style? I wouldn't think so. What do you think, Ben?
I think that'd be cheap because the guy's already been put over as being a family man, having the kids and all that. Not that fucking mob guys don't have a Gumar on the side, but they're usually not a heavy hitter chick like that. It would be just a side piece, not the champion. So do I think they'd try it? Possibly, but that's a huge mistake because it's not real. Give me real. And if you got the tribe and you got the backdrop and you can bring these guys in where Rikishi isn't stink facing people, imagine he's the fucking consigliere, you know what I mean, that they go to, that you get to see a Rikishi and Roman scene behind closed doors like Godfather with Michael and Vito. That's fucking good shit right there, dude. Like, why are we not just fucking doing these scenes? I don't get it. But back to your point, this is the best wrestling storyline, highly crafted, that WWE has done this year.
Easy. And before I jump into my number 3, and again, this is, you know, the 3 count, we're bringing it back, but next week, you know, next year, 2021, we're gonna have the whole intro and everything. Like, it'll be cool. Ben's gonna hook it up. Ben's amazing. But anyway, if you were to do now, Ben, I'm gonna ask you now. Vince McMahon came up to you, Ben. I want to put Sasha Banks together with Roman Reigns. Make it work. How, Ben? I know it shouldn't work, but how could, I think if anybody could make it work, you can make it work. So how could you make it work?
You kind of need to make her a hitter for the girls. You make her an empowered, you make her a made mafia guy, but as a woman. I keep going back to Sopranos. Lorraine Caluzzo's character in there was like a made woman who got to run her own thing, her own numbers, her own drugs, whatever she was doing. And she had guys underneath her. I can't remember, Lady something. I can't remember what Lady Shylock is what Christopher calls her, which means putting money on the streets, Shylock, and you know, charging a percent interest. So you put out 10 grand at 2%, you get fucking X back, right? So, she could become that to do hits on the women's division, but I don't understand why you would. Well, if I would, I'd make her the boss of the crew, and I'd put Tamina and Nia underneath her as her enforcers, because neither Nia or Tamina can work long matches safely. Neither of them look like people we want to invest in individually. So why not make them the barrier where the little girl can hide behind her and call shots that way? So if I was going to tie her to him, it wouldn't be a power couple right side by side with Reigns. It'd be Reigns using her as a fucking made hitter.
That would work. That would work. And I have another question from the chat room, Ben, and this is Mr. Homeboy 88 he says, I have a question. should the WWE take it back to the 80s, larger than life characters for the children? I think they should. That way, parents could enjoy it with their kids again. Ben, didn't we try this a couple of years ago with John Cena and the whole coming off of the not the Attitude Era, but the aggression era, whatever the hell they call it? They tried to go very kid friendly. Did that work for the WWE at that time?
No, not. I mean, it had merch sales, so you could say, yeah, it worked, but you got rid of your whole audience. What they did is placate to their own family. Steph and Game were having kids. Shane and his wife were having kids, Marissa, and now Vince is a grandfather. So, of course, they're watching Teletubbies and all that other shit. So, guess what we get to watch? Teletubbies and all that other shit, because that's what the McMahons are into, right? Because they're not going to be doing salacious shit while their kids are around, and that's just not where their mindset was. They're reading and doing coloring books, and that's the way wrestling fucking went. And until we get back to Stone Cold monster trucks relating to the fucking blue collar guy, which that take this job and shove it era is kind of gone because all the jobs are fucking gone. So what we need is a new Stone Cold. And what does that look like? That looks like a small business owner who's been fucked over by the government, lost it all, and has nothing left to lose.
Yeah.
And that guy will fucking look like. That's how you're going to represent America in 2020. So, like that's what we need. And you have that in an Elias. You have that in the Forgotten Sons.
Ooh.
You have all that shit, but they're too fucking stupid to get it right.
I really like this idea. Angelo Andrews, he puts out, maybe the Samoans put a hit on Vince again, and it actually happens this time. That would be, dude, let me tell you something. That would be, I think, very intriguing television where you have, like again, take it back to Sopranos. You have one. Hey, don't point that at me. That's
what Uncle June comes downstairs when he's all fucking crazy and he thinks Pussy Malenga's downstairs and he shoots Tony in the stomach.
But by the way, one of my favorite characters, by the way, not Tony Stark.
People would say, a lot of people think Junior's the best character on The Sopranos.
Fantastic. Paulie Walnuts is my guy.
Me too. I'm a Walnuts guy 100%. And then Tony. When you go back and watch Gandolfini's looks, bro, it's fucking unbelievable.
What are you going to do, Carmella? Anyway, so that's good. That's interesting. Thank you. That's interesting because I would love a power struggle with, and you know what? It could be one of those. Hold on. Let me just say this. It could be one of those things which you can kind of bring back the whole Stone Cold Steve Austin feel. Because that's what it was. It was somebody against their boss. The Samoans are coming in. They're going to take over the WWE. They're gonna fight against. Vince McMahon is going to have his crew. Triple H is going to be involved. Stephanie's going to be involved. But in a way where Stephanie, how Stephanie always kind of puts down the men and does that shit. Remember when Dusty Rhodes, when she was going to cut that promo on Dusty Rhodes when he was alive, got the rest of the show, and he put his hand in her face, which wasn't scripted, and she got really fucking heated. There was a lot of heat on him after that. Yeah, they can do shit like that with Tamina, or they can do shit like that with Nia, where those are two big bitches, man. She ain't gonna get in their face, is she?
What if those girls get confidence, and this is a weird thing because you could do it with women and easier than you could men, and they fucking go to Rogan, Declan, or Kenyon, or they go to I don't know Triple H's daughter's names, but they fucking gain their confidence to get them to go someplace, and they kidnap them, and the fucking Samoans hold them hostage, bro. Now you got Triple H is a fucking Mel Gibson. What's that fucking dude? Tate from Taken, the fucking. I have some specific skills.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
like that shit. And you know what you could do is you could even, if you wanted to,
Liam
Neeson, Neeson. Fucking have Alpha and Sika be way up on high, pulling the strings through Roman at the street boss level. And even if you wanted to have one of them be in really steal, you just wanted to straight steal and pop the audience. You'd have one of them like pretend they had a stroke or something and do the fucking thing from Breaking Bad with the fucking bell. Ding, ding, ding. And that's how he answers fucking shit. Because people get it and others wouldn't. You know what I mean?
I have a crazy idea. I would even involve the kids. And this is how you involve the kids. The kids are backstage. Okay, you have them backstage. You can have the fucking Samoan kids bullying the McMahon kids.
100%. They could fucking, you could have them all go to Roman. Roman brings them in, gives them fucking $20 each. They goes, you know what to do. And they fucking go. And then you go back there and Rogan and Kenyon are just laid the fuck out, bro, in the locker room. You know what I mean? All that's fucking gold. That is gold, Ray. But we're not even close to scratching the surface on that shit.
Like, could you imagine having like one of Roman's nephews just take a gimmick of chocolate milk and pouring it over the head of the youngest son of Shane McMahon? Come on,
start the fight and they go at it and we, you know, but then there'd also be a cameraman there. Like you should just have it where it's like them going in and they know they're in there and fucking, so the cameraman's not in there, but there's a CCTV cam so they can run it back later and see the kids kicking the shit out of them. We got to make it real. It can't be like, hey, there's a fucking cameraman in here watching 12-year-olds beat the shit out of each other. You know, it can't be that. It's got to be real. It's got to be real.
It's got to be like, but I'm saying it's got to be elementary school bullying. That would work, dude. And then I want to give a quick.
Some of McMahon's kids are like 16 now. I got to believe Rogan or Declan, one of them's got to be like 16. Or Shane's sons.
Dude, you could even go as far. And by the way, really quickly, big shout out. We have a Billy Ray Valentine in the chat room. Big shout out to you, my friend. Big middle finger to you.
Happy New Year, Briz.
How about you have teenage love, the forbidden love between, you know, a Samoan niece or Samoan cousin.
You gotta do. They tried to do West Side Story already, right? With fucking Dominic and his sister and fucking Buddy Murphy, but you definitely could do it on this side. But who's the love story gonna be? Because if you're tying the women to them, it's a love story with Naya or it's a love story with Tamina, and those are tough to tell. But I was also thinking, you know, we could really get Naya over because Naya could play Janice really well from The Sopranos, and you just want to knock fucking Janice Steele scenes with how annoying she is and how much of a fucking bukiak she is, right? Yep. Dude, Naya could shine in that role, bro. Absolutely.
Did you say bukkake?
No, bukiak. That's cunt in fucking in Italian, and that's from The Sopranos when Christopher's on set. And he gives notes on the movie, and he goes, "That one should call that one a bukiak." He said, "Bukiak, what's that mean?" To John Favreau, he goes, "Cunt."
Well, I got to tell you, I put up this picture of Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know, a little cute little meme of Stone Cold. You know, with the milk all over his face. You know, Santa Claus. You know, after his whatever. And then Rip Rogers just kind of chimes in saying that he's into black chick bukkake videos.
Did you listen to Rip on Austin's podcast? It's a good listen.
No, I did not. That's going to be on my list then.
Good one.
Don't get no better than that.
No.
By the way, head over to ProWrestlingTees.com, ladies and gentlemen. Support indie wrestling. Support us here at Hamin Media. Support Rip Rogers. He has a great store over there. We're going to get some new shirts coming out very, very soon for Rip. The new "You Don't Get No Better Than That" shirts. Hey, guys, I would even say if you guys have any ideas and any cool designs for "It Don't Get No Better Than That" t-shirts, maybe shoot them over to Ben, maybe shoot them over to me, shoot them over to Ted
300 PPI PNG transparent background. Please don't make me do editing work.
Yes,
PPI, that means dots per inch.
Bukkake Jacks,
the biggest
putting over Bukkake Jacks in the chat room.
Holy shit, everybody calling in.
Yeah, but who's calling now? Who we got?
Are you there? Hey, you there?
Hey.
Hey, I'm on air right now. Say what's up to the Impact Attack.
What's up, Impact Attack? All right, cool. Hit me up later.
Yeah, I will. Jamin called in too. So, geez.
Are you going to introduce me or not?
No.
Jeez, everyone today.
Yeah. All right. I'll call you as soon as I'm done.
Yalla.
Okay. All right. Yalla.
Wonderful. Ben, you're a terrible co-host, man. Who was that?
Dude, when Serena Deeb calls, you fucking answer, bro.
That was Serena Deeb. You're not going to say, "Hey, this is my co-host, Ray." Unbelievable.
Yeah, gotta get your own contacts.
Fine, whatever.
You gave
All
me
right.
a Ross Foreman contact to book Impact guys, and he hasn't gotten back to me at all. I sent him 2 messages.
Ross hasn't got back to you yet?
No, so it's in your lap now. You're
Okay.
the one who's going to get a job at Impact, so you're going to take over the booking of.
I got it. But anyway, so yeah, man, the Roman Reigns thing was a huge deal for me. But I'm going to move on, and again, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to finish the show off with our favorite moments in TNA history. I have a nice little list here for us to talk about.
You like those run-ins who sticks their head in the locker room real quick? Hey,
it's awesome, man. Can you get? I would love to get the tribal chief in here.
I don't have his number, but I just gave Manbeast Ryback's number, so you never know who's going to run in on a Manbeast show.
Dude, Ryback, no shit. And I'm going to put this over. I fucking love his social media. I love his Instagram. I love his YouTube channel. He is no shit, dude. We haven't.
Well, he stooged off too that on his social media that he heard Vince McMahon isn't in the best of health. So I don't know if Vince is in rough shape, but he just put over a clip on his show, putting over Rip in Dr. Tom's style. And Kaz clipped it, and I had to make a graphic and put it back out. And Dr. Tom just retweeted it, and I'm sure, and Ryback did too. So check that out. Hamin Media Group. Here a clip of Ryback putting over the right way to do things.
You know what? I'm going to put this over. Wrestling Redneck, you are absolutely correct. I do want to talk to Russo in 2021.
Sure.
I would love to do some work with. I would love the New York connection to kind of go into fruition. That would be very cool. I would love to do that once in a while. But anyway, so my number 3, and my number 3, and it hasn't been done well, but it's a big deal, and it's the relationship between AEW and Impact Wrestling. You know, I am not happy at all with what they're doing with this storyline or how they've but I got to tell you, I'm not happy with it, but I'm still interested and intrigued because I think this is just the genesis of what they are going to do. And I think 2020, they're kind of waiting. This is kind of like a little bit of a taste, you know, how mom is cooking the stew and she gives you a little spoon. Hey, is it too salty?
Need some salt, need some whatever. Yeah.
Right. So that's what I think. Listen, Kenny Omega is the belt collector. I think this is a guy that could do it. They tried doing it back in the day with, and why can't I remember his name? That he was in the WWE and he went to Impact, the short guy.
Austin Aries.
Austin Aries. They tried doing it with him. For me, it wasn't it wasn't believable, but with Kenny, I think it could work. What do you think, Ben?
Why does it work? Who are belts for?
Oh, belts are for people that can't get over
with
character.
Does Kenny have character?
I think so.
What is it?
He's a crazy eccentric. He's a crazy eccentric performer. He's not even a wrestler. He's a performer. He goes out there and goes balls to the wall and tries to put everything out there for his personal glory. That's the way I look at it.
Enough on its own to draw tickets and get over.
I don't know.
If I don't know is the answer, then put belts on him to make him believable.
Well, the thing is that he does have, listen, whether you like it or not, he does have a strong fan base. He does have people that really love what he does, whether we may not like it or not. I mean, is it
you know who never needs a belt?
Bruce Lee.
Well, Luchasaurus, Jungle Jack Perry. Cowboy can have one, but he doesn't need one because he's already over. Young Bucks don't need belts.
Junkyard Dog.
What's that? Junkyard Dog definitely didn't need a fucking title, bro.
Jake the Snake Roberts.
JYD fucking run around with his fist cocked, and that was enough to drive the people crazy, bro.
Jake the Snake.
Who?
Jake the Snake Roberts.
Didn't need a belt. Rick Rude had him, didn't need it. You know, never made to the top, but he was one of the best. Mr. Perfect.
He was great Intercontinental Champion, though. One of my favorites.
Yeah, but like that's because of work rate at that time, not because of draw power and the highest. You know what I mean? Like that's solid match. It's not like they fucking once he wasn't Mr. Perfect. How did Mr. Perfect get over? Because he was champion?
No, Mr. Perfect got over because of his feuds and and his promos and the fact that he was with Bobby Heenan.
That helps. The fucking vignettes.
Oh yes. Oh my God. Yes.
That's how you get. That's character that gets over. What are Kenny Omega's vignettes of Mr. Perfect level to describe his character?
I got you. Hey, have you ever thrown a football 100 yards and caught it in the end zone by yourself?
No, I just snapped it like 10 yards and went 2 yards ahead and hit a guy. That's my job.
You played football. What position you played?
Center, left guard, and left tackle.
Shit, I was a fullback in high school my first 2 years.
I suck at running.
It's funny because when I was a kid, before I fucked up my ankle, dude, I had pretty good speed, man. I was a Papa dude, man.
Yeah, I was just always bigger than everybody else, so I was just in the front lines to fucking play protection, and then over nose guard, I would just run through guys, and I'd usually get 1 or 2 sacks a game.
All right, fuck this shit, Ben. Will the Giants make the playoffs this year?
No way.
They could win if they win next week.
They're trash, bro. I mean, make the playoffs is fine. That don't mean shit. Bills are the only thing in New York that have a chance of doing anything.
Anyway, remember that run with Jim Kelly back in the day?
That's why I became a massive fan. Me and my dad, all the way through it.
Andre Reed, Thurman Thomas.
Oh yeah, but I mean, that's why I was a Giants fan, because I hated everyone hated the Bills. If you were where we were, but in the Bills, they were crazy and they blew it 4 times in a row.
I got to tell you something. Not just because my New York Giants won that Super Bowl, but 2 of the greatest Super Bowls I've ever seen had the Giants. The one when they beat the Bills,
yep,
and then the one when they beat the fucking Patriots in 2008. 2009.
Giants are the best monster heels in the fucking game, bro.
Beautiful. I love the Giants. You're a Giants fan, right? Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. That's why I fucking hate Eli. I want to fucking smash his hands with a hammer, bro. He should have his rings taken away.
Who's your favorite Giant of all time? I got mine.
LT.
Me too. I used to love Lawrence Taylor.
I got to meet him 2 years ago.
What? Did you really?
Yeah, my client, Cooperstown Connection, 7th inning stretch, that, the sports memorabilia, they're partners with Gentleman's Corner Barber Shop, and they pay big money, bro. They brought in Rivera. They were going to bring in Jeter. They brought in LT, fucking Rodman. They bring in a lot of people, bro. Judge. Yeah, dude.
Aaron Judge is a big son of a bitch. I sat right behind him in right field. That kid is huge.
Yeah. They before the pandemic, they were bringing in somebody like every 3. They were going to bring in Hogan, and I was going to run the whole fucking thing off that too.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. You looking forward to the Hulk Hogan movie with Thor?
The dude's on gas, so let's see if he can pull it off, man. To be honest with you, if it's fucking wrestling dudes getting a shot in Hollywood as extras. Look at GGP was in The Wrestler, man. That's like legacy. So I'm anxious to see who's going to get a shot at being in there and doing something. I wish I had an agent that could get me in. I think it's a little late now, but
no, not at all. Why not? I think you could do it. Why not? I think
yeah, but who would I play? Maybe One Man Gang. I'd have to put on a ton of weight.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I could see you playing a wrestler, whether it be like on an Al Bundy sitcom type gimmick or in the movies,
I'm not in this Hogan movie.
Oh, in the Hogan movie?
I'd rather try and get into fucking Star Wars or Mandalorian. I got a better chance of getting in that.
Yo, dude, you know what? Can you give me 2 seconds? I got to run to the other room for 2 seconds. Just say hello, and we're going to jump into the top moments of TNA history, okay?
Absolutely, bro.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, I don't think I could play the Sheik, man. I'm definitely not in good enough shape compared to the Sheik, and I'm as good a shape as the Sheik is now, but not 1980 Sheik, bro. I'd have to be on crazy B12, and the age might be right, but it's not gonna look right. Me as the Iron Sheik. Play Bam Bam maybe. I'm sure they can fucking get me fake head tattoos and just fucking do that if they need to.
Ben,
yo,
I gotta do something off.
I got a good cartwheel too. Go ahead.
All right, for people that don't know, me and Jen, we have a baby.
Nice.
And I'm gonna
Colin. Is it a Colin baby or no?
I'm gonna introduce him to everybody here.
Oh, nice.
Dude,
the Grogu's in the house. Did you see the World Star video where they put him on one of the remote control 4-wheelers?
No.
It looks real as shit. Like he's fucking wiling out on a 4-wheeler, bro. Same size one. He looks just like you. I mean,
Doesn't he? Look at his face. Look at that face.
big walnut eyes, bald head.
He's reaching out to me. He's fucking beautiful. He's so beautiful. I love this fucking doll. Kid.
Dude, check that out on World Star though. The fucking 4-wheeler Yoda. It should be on the last 2 days. It's fucking hilarious.
You mind if he hangs out with us?
No, I don't give a fuck. I love the Mandalorian. Yeah, it's the best thing in Star Wars history. I mean, I like Darth Maul. I think he's my favorite character, but fucking Mandalorian's killer, bro.
Let me tell you right off the bat that, and fuck spoilers. Spoiler alert. If you guys don't know by now, the Luke Skywalker, that scene, when I watched it live, I didn't know what had happened. I didn't know that he was going to be on the show. And
well, when you see us, I kind of, I mean, when
you saw the X-Wing,
when I saw the Solo X-Wing, you know what's going down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no shit. But dude, you got to be honest. Like that was kind of I felt like a kid when I saw that shit again. I was like, whoa.
Absolutely. That's the beauty of it, dude. That's why my favorite episode, I think this season, was when they teamed with the Sand People. Cause I remember that scaring the fuck out of me when in 83, dude, when I saw it, when the Sand dude jumped, like I remember fucking jumping out of my fucking seat, my dad laughing at me, and fucking then to like bring it back and tell the origin story of the Sand People and see them for more than a minute. I love that kind of shit. It makes me feel like a little kid again.
Well, it was cool to see the Sand People working together with the humans and stuff like that. And dude, it was just so well done. So well done,
bro. In season 1 with the robot babysitter shootout, like everything is fucking dope, man. Everything's good. And I also like the end of, what is it, Rogue One, where Darth Vader is at the end when he's on the fucking frozen planet. You see it there. Jon Favreau and the other dude are just fucking absolutely nailing it, bro. Like on a next level, nailing it. So we're lucky to have that, and I'm anxious to see all the spinoff shows, and I'm hoping in somewhere in a galaxy far, far away, I can get a shot on one of those one day.
Well, that would be amazing. But listen, dude, we're about to jump into the final segment of the show, and Ben, we do Impact Attack. We started with the Impact Rebellion. I went back and I saw I actually listened back. If you go online, you can find old episodes of the Impact Rebellion when we did it. And it's pretty cool to listen back, man, at the old shit that we talked about, and how we man, I mean, the evolution of the show, from what it was to what it is now, 2 different levels. Even the sound quality, the structure of the show, everything is cool. But I'll tell you, man, Impact Wrestling, I've been covering it since 2008 or 2008, 2009. So that's a long time, dude, covering this one company.
Buddy. Good for them to be in business through all the bullshit.
No shit. That's the company that will never die. And listen, man.
I don't know.
Oh, well, we'll see. But I wanted to talk to you, Ben, about my favorite or our favorite all-time TNA moments. And it was hard for me to pick five moments. I'm going to throw them at you. Maybe you can kind of give a couple of your favorite moments of all time, but I'm going to start off with my number 5. And people in the chat, I'm going to go away from the chat because I have my notes here on my phone. But if you got some moments to throw it out there, maybe Ben, I don't know if you can see what they're saying and stuff, but my number 5 moment, I was there in the Hammerstein Ballroom in 2014. If I'm correct, Billy Ray Valentine was there with me. I was also there with my one of my good friends, John, and we got to see the Team 3D finally put Dixie Carter through a table.
I was just gonna say that's what definitely my number 5 is, Dixie through the fucking table. I just saw that pop up.
Did you really?
It was, and there's this one thing, pictures we've forgotten. It shows all stupid wrestling angles and gimmicks, and Bubba's putting her through the table right before, and she's like holding herself like this, and you can see the table. It's like the 2 seconds beforehand. But yeah, dude, that's what I was thinking too.
Dude, I've been at a lot of wrestling events. I've been at WrestleMania. And I got to tell you, I've never heard a louder pop personally. Like that place was electric, man. And I think it was, if I remember, the Hardys were there. Dude, we got to see everybody. It was really, really really fucking good show.
Hmm.
And the moment that Dixie Carter went up in the power bomb gimmick, and and Bubba put her through the table, dude, that was something that I think everybody wanted to see for a really, really long time, and it was really cool. And it's a moment in TNA history that and my moments aren't all going to be positive. They're going to be a couple of negative ones that have big impact. Because my number one is possibly the biggest impact on Impact. But yeah, man, you really like the Dixie gimmick?
I mean, it's a memorable moment, right? So she and Russo's talked about it, how he told her no and and she was fucked up after that. She thought it was going to get her respect from the boys, but really it's just the boys going, I got to put the boss through the table while they're taking money out of her pocket still, like just it's the same thing as Khan wanting to be one of the boys. And how long is it before fucking somebody put them through a table? A year, probably tops. Yeah,
Yoda keeps pulling my coffee cup.
What are you gonna do? Force is strong with that one. It's Grogu. It's not Baby Yoda.
I like calling him Baby Yoda. It's Grogu. That's my nickname for him.
All right. That's when he's bad. You yell at him, Grogu, get over here.
Yes, exactly.
he knows it's serious then. What the fuck?
Oh, I call him Kid. Hey kid. Hey kid.
Oh, actually, I'll make one of these for you if I get my printer up and running.
What's for the people on the podcast? Ben is standing up, showing off his
my Wu-Tang pants. I made it's a Baby Yoda head, but it goes on screws on your toothpaste. So when you do it, he pukes out the blue stuff out of the front.
That is amazing. Oh, like when he threw up.
Yeah, when he threw up it. So you have blue toothpaste, it looks like he puked up the blue shit. So this one's for DGP, but I just got some green PLA. I just got to get the printers up and running.
Dude, you can use that same gimmick and make a keychain.
All that's on there, bro. There's so many. You can get the Mandalorian helmet download for free now. I have every Star Wars if you want to take the time to print them all. But yeah, man, that fun little thing. The 3D printing world loves all that shit, and right away, even the fucking new Darksaber is out. You can download the 3D print it. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty hot, dude.
Cool stuff.
You think Mando is going to become the king of the Mandalorian eventually? Like he's going to stick with it?
No, I think that chick is going to become the queen from Death Watch, and he'll fucking be like a knight, a rogue knight. You know what I mean? You
think he's going to hook up with Gina Carano?
Probably.
Bro, she's so. I don't know what it is about her. I've had a crush on her since her days in MMA.
I like her with the thickness too. I like that she put on 20, 30 pounds, bro.
She looks fantastic, doesn't she?
She looks like a fullback.
Hold on. Don't tell mommy. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so I'm gonna jump into my number 4, and this was a TNA World Heavyweight Championship match. No surrender. Championship. This was a 5-way match between Matt Morgan, Sting, Hernandez, and Kurt Angle. And the guy who comes out on top, who won his very first TNA World Heavyweight Championship, was AJ Styles. Do you remember that match?
I don't remember AJ's first heavyweight championship. No, I'm sorry.
Dude, go back and watch that match again. Matt Morgan.
I won't watch anymore.
Oh, dude, Matt Morgan, in my opinion, see during this match, if I remember correctly,
back and watch. I watched 1983 NWA Junkyard Dog versus Hacksaw fucking Butch Reed. That's what I go back and watch. I don't go back and watch AJ's first fucking get your shit in fest of shit that I'm never gonna do. I'm only watching wrestling to steal old stuff to make it new again.
Well, I gotta tell you something, dude. For me, that was because it was the first like real TNA original during the era where they were bringing in like the Kurt Angles, the Christian Cages, Stings, and then he was not expected to be given that run, and it came out of the blue, and he hit the splash. I think of the 450 splash on I think it was on Sting. Did he get the pin? No, he pinned Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle put him over. Dude,
you say that because my next one is Kurt Angle's retirement versus Bobby Roode.
Wow.
And I because I was there and I got to work second teams with Paradise, even I was just holding cables and whatnot. We shot a lot of that B-roll footage that you saw during his go home package that aired 2 weeks later. So for me, that was kind of my, Jimmy Paradise opening the door for me to show that I could hang, and if there was, just get my foot in the door a little bit. And then from that 6 months after that, I became the Impact webmaster. So that was a big time for me. They want you to get a little Yankees hat for them.
I do. We're getting. I got to put a little chapstick on Groku's lips.
Do they make those fucking? I doubt anybody does anymore. Those sundaes, ice cream sundaes, in the fucking hats with the baseball hat gimmick anymore.
At Yankee Stadium,
because that'd be the perfect size for them. Is one of those little Sunday cup hats.
They well, for New Year's, we're getting them little glasses. We're getting them a little hat. But
I got a Cubs one. If you want to put a fucking Wrigleyville one on them.
No.
Why Cubs? It's the Cubs. Not everybody loves the Cubs. They're a threat to anybody.
I don't hate the Cubs.
116 years to fucking come back around. Give the Cubs one win.
let me explain something to you. I became a New York Yankees fan in 1984 or 85. Okay, I've never worn another hat ever.
Yep. I live 2 blocks from Wrigley, so
no, I don't hate the Cubs. I rooted for the Cubs when they won that World Series. Fuck
it's
that,
man. It's like rooting for the Special Olympics.
Well, it's funny that you mention Kurt Angle, because my number 3 is Kurt Angle's debut when he headbutted Samoa Joe in 2006.
That was good too. That was great.
Dude, that was insane, because at that time, if I'm correct with the storyline, Samoa Joe was supposed to be given a contract. And he was was he the champion at the time? I can't remember, but I remember that he was in the ring and they gave him the contract. He ripped it up. He's like, "Nah, fuck you. I'm done. I'm out of here." And then fucking Kurt Angle shows up, dude, and just gets in his face and headbutts Samoa Joe right in the face. Samoa Joe was split open the hard way, and it was just boom, because Samoa Joe was the biggest name on the indie circuit, making his name in Impact Wrestling. He was at the best Samoa Joe had ever been at that time. And Kurt Angle comes in, man, and it was just like, wow. It was, I would even put like a 1A, 1B with Kurt Angle, that video package that they played when nobody knew Kurt Angle was coming to TNA and everybody exploded. So Kurt Angle's debut in TNA, man, was just everything to me.
I mean, that's huge coming off of what he'd done in WWE. That was a massive, massive get for him. Unfortunately, he wasn't very healthy at that point. Addiction was very, very high. I think that I heard 80 pain pills a day, bro.
80?
Like, I heard at one point 80 a day. Like, I don't even know. I mean, how is that even possible? But like, that was, I'm glad he's still alive and it didn't take him. You know what I mean? Because that easily could have happened that way. The other one, the next one for me isn't wrestling related, is in the ring, but it's all character. I think one of the highest points that I'll always remember for Impact has got to be Jay Lethal doing Ric Flair and the flare off. And then also I'll lump in with that Black Machismo. Great impersonations, fucking total commitment to character, and scary good fucking impersonation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can put him down now. It's distracting me. He'll be fine by himself.
You sure?
I've watched the show. He'll be fine. You see when he lifted the fucking big beast in the air? I think he'll be all right.
Can you sit here? Hold on. I'm going to have him sit right here. Is that cool?
Yeah, well, plus he fucking be careful you don't have any eggs sitting around that you don't want aborted. He'll fucking eat those too.
No, all we have is chicken eggs. But we're gonna go to the Chinese gimmick over here and
straight. Everything. Not to make him a baby face. He's straight up eating the fetuses of fucking the lady on board the ship while she's not looking. Like, hey, let me eat your fucking children. Like, okay.
Oh, he fell over. Unbelievable.
You think he's gonna become a heel?
No.
Really? Because Ahsoka Tano said she senses much fear in him, and fear leads to.
No, I know, but I think the fear went away. I think the fear that Grogu had was leaving Mando. That was the fear that he knew that he would have to leave Mando, and then I think that
line is in there to tip the scales that he's going to become a Sith.
But I think the fear went away. The moment that he interacted with R2D2, and the minute that he accepted
I
being
disagree.
taken.
The only way I'll believe that is if another Jedi fucking senses him and says, "I don't sense any fear in him." Until that's cleared, like I can't say that that is in the story that I've seen anyway.
No, I hear you, but off of what you were saying about Jay Lethal, man, yeah, dude, like that Ric Flair off the woo woo woo, and they're doing the whole fucking. And let me tell you, Ric Flair, dude, that was awesome.
That's how you ratchet up a scene. You go yes and to one idea, then I'm going to turn it up and add my own. Then I'm going to turn it up and we're going to commit. That carrot and the Black Machismo stuff was fucking phenomenal too, bro.
It was great, man. There are a lot of people out there that didn't like it, but you know what, man? The fact that Macho Man himself signed off on it, and he did so well. And the thing is that he didn't. I mean, he changed like the way he threw his punches. You know how Macho Man used to do those quick little jabs and shit.
Yeah.
But he was still Jay Lethal. He still did Jay Lethal shit. But as Macho Man, it was brilliant.
It's the biting of the lip, the going up for the fucking, the elbow, and like things that were just textbook perfect when they needed to be, to do an impersonation but level it up, and a black guy doing it, and it's fucking great. Yep. Like, like that.
Worked.
That 100% it worked. 100%. And it sticks out as some of the best character work, not just in Impact, but in wrestling history, in my opinion.
I'm gonna give you my number 2, and there's a 2A. My number 2 is but I want to focus in on 2A more. My number 2 is that it was Turning Point 2004. It was a cage match. It was 6 Eyes of Steel. It was a tag team like gimmick. You had America's Most Wanted. You had Triple X. You had, I forgot who the hell else was in the match, but Elix Skipper walking the cage, the top of the cage, doing the fucking hurricane run.
Bro. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Holy shit, that was a great moment. But my real number two is the Broken Brilliance. That 1 year of Matt Hardy, on his expedition, yes, of tag team gold was fucking phenomenal. I think it took a dead brand at that point and brought them to another level. It took a dead character in Matt Hardy.
It took a guy whose body was shot and fucking showed that he had so much more to offer.
Like, I mean, just talk to me about this, man. Like, what do you think of the Broken Brilliance? This is up there for
my
you?
number one. It's not my number two one.
Okay, so I'll let you talk about it a little more. But what's your number two?
Kind of the downfall of the Hogan family. The greed, showing of what they did in WCW to bring them in, and again, pick the fuck. Here comes Bischoff. Here comes all of them, right? And then to bring in Brooke Hogan, who is now a footnote in 15 minutes of fame. You know what I mean? Like gone. And from there, what do we have? The Hogan divorce, the fucking son racking up the fucking car and hurting his friend. Then Hogan visiting his kid in jail, talking about the Blizz love us and shit like that. Then he fucking the Bubba the Love Sponge shit, all the way to come back around where he sues. He fucks a guy's wife on camera and ends up making $36 million off of it. Okay. So, the real expose of the Hogan family is my number two in this, bro.
That was a great show, by the way.
Yeah, Hogan knows best. What could
no.
go wrong now?
No, I meant the Hogan family. Do you remember that show?
Oh yeah, though that was the spin. That was the fucking spin-off of something else.
It was Valerie Harper. That was the original.
Then they replaced her with Sandy Duncan.
Right.
Yeah. But that was Justin Bateman's first fucking big thing. And then they had the guy who looks like MacGyver but isn't MacGyver as the father. I can't think of his name.
Nobody knows his name. But he was in a lot of shit.
And then they had the two douchebag little fucking brothers.
Dude, it was a great show, the Hogan family.
All right. Yeah.
For all you marks out there, check it out. And
it's
funny?
One of the best TV house sets that felt like a real house. You know what I mean?
I think, but wait, were you talking about TGIF on one of the shows?
Yeah.
Dude, what I was
matters all that shit. Yeah.
I was working I was working. I was at the job, and sometimes I'll put one earpiece in when it's super quiet at work, and I'll just listen to your shows and shit, listen to the guys or whatever shows are on Hamin Media. And dude, I think you were talking about the TGIF, and it was some of the best TV for me growing up, dude. It was like great.
It's programming, and they were driving home even good messages for all people, whether it was I mean, I hate the writing and laugh track. It's the lowest form of entertainment, but when in our 90s era, it was perfect at the time. It hit it at the right spot, whether it was the Winslows or the Full House family or and that's kind of off of the Cosby family. All of those are just kind of spin outs, and doesn't matter. Home Improvement, you can go right down the fucking line. All that
Perfect Strangers. That was a great show.
Fun stuff, man.
And funny, Ben, I want you to discuss your number one. What was it? The other one, the Broken Brilliance, a little more. But I'll give you my number one real quick. And my number one is your number two, I think, or whatever. And I wrote down, and I quote, Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff arrive in TNA in 2009. Just really quickly, man, that totally changed the company. Everything from the ring, from losing the 6-sided ring to focusing in on this 50-something-year-old man in Hulk Hogan, who was well past his prime at the point of juncture, to having a stupid storyline where Abyss had fucking Hulk Hogan's Hall of Fame ring, and he would get some type of Abyss, a giant demon from hell, became a goofy character. They did so much wrong in such a short time.
Is a fucking monster too when it comes to character, not just the dark side. To become all the shit he did with Joseph Park's side was fucking phenomenal too. The comedy that he can do and to split the characters, that was great work, man. Like there's things that are left off the list that are highly underrated, and that all led to Monsters Ball, which was good stuff too, man.
Well, I mean, and also the one thing I liked and a lot of people don't like was Aces and Eights. I actually, I don't know, man. I didn't think they were terrible. I think they could have
knock off of fucking What Was Hot, which wasn't a bad choice, but it just was like, how are you going to have a biker gang that don't show up on motorcycles?
Yeah, but isn't that what wrestling is? Like wrestling is a knockoff of pop culture.
Not when you're doing like a motorcycle gang. There's some things you can't just like infer, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to have them riding if they don't know how. Just go rent 6 motorcycles and put them outside and show the guys hanging out by them. They never even did like the small things. So they just look like fucking meth heads trying to fucking be wrestlers, in my opinion, even though they like it was just such a knockoff of what the fuck's it called, Sons of Anarchy, without truly doing it the right way. So it was a welfare version.
I'm glad that you brought up the Broken Brilliance as your number one, because not for nothing, guys, if you guys have been listening since the Impact Rebellion, the Broken Brilliance and Broken Matt Hardy and that whole angle is why me and Ben got teamed together to have a TNA show back in the old WZ days.
He said he didn't want to cover it.
He didn't.
And then he fucking, once that shit hit, he was trying to mark out and get in on it.
Dude, man, I mean, I'm not going to get into the conversations, but, you know, for people that don't know, you know, we worked with somebody over at WZ. He was running it. And I think it was me or you. I think it was me that brought it up to him. I'm like, hey, dude, we should do a show on TNA. And I remember the words exactly. This is the whole. Do you remember when WCW said, "Oh, and Mick Foley won their world heavyweight champion"? That'll put butts in seats, right? Same conversation with this dickhead. I said, dude, there is this angle with Broken Matt Hardy, and I think it's going to be huge. And he goes, nobody cares. He said, and I quote, nobody cares about Matt Hardy. Nobody cares about TNA. And then we have this.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, this not just for what it was in something new and innovative, and also my own personal stakes in it with a guy who I know is a brilliant artist, Jimmy Paradise.
Brilliant.
Kamikaze Kid. So again, I'm kind of living vicariously through a guy that I came up with and being like, I love seeing him shine. You know what I mean? And a dude who gave me an opportunity to make some money working for Impact, even though I had to sue him to threaten to sue him to get it, which is just normal practice over there. But
Sure, why not?
I mean, Damore said it on the show like four or 5 weeks ago, or well, maybe 2 months ago, I guess. But this set a new standard that we could look through a different lens at wrestling. Del Close would say the work can handle anything if you approach it the right way. Well, approaching it the right way is setting a standard of fantasy and then playing into it. So whether it was just using a drone, because drones were hot at that time, and making it and giving it a personality, incorporating his father-in-law into things, you know, to getting a whole crowd doing all near Nazi salutes for Delete, you know, very like, hey, if we're going to steal, Hitler was pretty over when he came to fucking giving speeches. Regardless of what he did, he went on the promo, he got over. So why not take some weird thing and then make it your own, right? It wasn't anything racist. It was just like what he needed to be. And he was also playing to the height of his intelligence, because he would be people from throughout history. He was giving history lessons, whether he was Julius Caesar or fucking, anybody that came through these eons of being reinvented. Very high esoteric thinking and great character work to make even his own home a fantasy place with the lake of reincarnation, where you can then revisit old characters and it's believable, but you're along for this whole ride, you know. And even the legends with Robert Gibson and fucking Rock and Roll Express being in there, you know,
that helped revitalize them too.
Yeah, so many people from indies all the way up through Impact, through Legends, got a chance to perform and be a part of this new universe. And that was great in itself, but it set up a standard for cinematic matches, for Undertaker to be able to do the Boneyard match. Yeah. So people, even though they try to do a couple knockoffs when it was New Day versus the Wyatts in the fucking, remember that was like the first WWE one.
Yeah.
It worked a little bit. It wasn't great because they didn't set up a whole world around it.
Right.
But still, that was one of the first attempts that we got. And now this will help protect Sting in AEW to do this type of cinematic style. But if Matt hadn't fucking pushed for that, funded it himself, gotten the green light, and brought that vision to life in a huge overarching story, and then WWE has it in their fucking hand, what do? Make them into 1998 fucking Hardys at Mania, the biggest fucking miss in the history of wrestling. I still will say that 100%. That is the number one fuck up, when they could have had that whole arena doing the Delete chant and like meaning it, but the Hardys got to come out there and do this fucking shit. Like, that's why WWE is vindictive and sucks shit. And that's why Impact, even though they might not have the viewers, does 110 times better creative, because they're dedicated to the craft and storytelling, whether it's the Broken Universe, which also allowed for Wrestle House. And even Wrestle House is doing it at a house. Well, Sammy and Eddie got to do their whole psycho thing all in a fucking, Broken Universe kind of way as well. So a lot of people have benefited from Matt Hardy's creative brilliance, and that's why it's the number one Impact piece of all time.
You had Smoking Joe Frazier, the Kangaroo. You had George Washington, the Giraffe. You had dude, Skarsgård, a fucking boat. A canoe was over as shit. It
what do you
became
call it when you give personification? When you like you give inanimate objects a human quality and they come to life. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like having a car and naming her and calling it her and saying, I gotta take care of my baby. And you actually can establish a human connection with an inanimate object.
It's very Herbie the Love Bug. What if the car comes to life and you believe it? Are you living in a delusion, or is there magic in the world? That's the fucking line that we cross back and forth the whole time.
Well, we're gonna go off. I want to go off with this last question to you, Ben. Now, speaking of Matt Hardy, and again, this is perfect, dude. Not in my notes, but this is a great way to end it moving into 2021. Matt Hardy seems to be absolutely furious with AEW and their usage of the Broken Brilliance, the usage of his character. That relationship has, in my opinion, for what I've seen, deteriorated. Do you think there is an opportunity for the Broken Universe to come back to Impact Wrestling and there be a storyline? Do you think this is a work? Do you think they're working something where Matt Hardy comes to side with TNA or Impact Wrestling to combat AEW? Thinking long term.
Everything could be a work when it comes to Matt because he's a fucking, brilliant creative. Did they fuck up Matt Hardy's stuff? And they did a little of it in the arena thing where he'd get in the cooler and then come out as another character. Okay, those are funny little things to do it, but again, they left so much on the table of what they could have done if they just let this guy go. And I don't want to blame Matt, but how many times have we seen WWE guys leave and go, I wish I just would have spoken up for my creative.
Yeah.
When Matt was going back with Jeff, that was his time to go, we're not doing the Hardy's thing. Trust me when I tell you this is more over and I'm not going to go out there and do that. And that sounds like an easy thing to say instead of doing in Vince McMahon's face, but it would have been for the better of the entire wrestling industry, bro, to let them have carte blanche and do what they wanted to. Instead, they danced like monkeys, and that started the backside down the mountain of what it is.
I want to be honest with you, Ben, and people ask me, like, why do you hate AEW so much? I don't hate AEW. I just need you to understand I don't hate the company because I have always been a proponent of an alternative. That's why I'm such a huge fan of TNA Wrestling or Impact Wrestling. I've always been a big fan because I love that they were the alternative to WWE. And when Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff became involved, that's when I started to not like the product because it was the same shit. Just like AEW, in my humble opinion, is the same, and I will quote myself, shit. Now, with all that being said, I think moving forward into 2021, I really would love to give this company, AEW, another opportunity to win me back as a fan. What pissed me off? You want to know what really pissed me off? I'll tell you what pissed me off. When the Hardys went to WWE, the WWE destroyed the Broken Universe. I thought that AEW had enough intelligence, and I gave them too much credit, to take that Broken Universe because I said, shit, this is going to be great. Matt Hardy's coming over with all that money behind the Hardys and with Matt's creative abilities and stuff like this. This is going to be amazing. It's going to be wonderful. Yes. And it was shit.
Why would it be great?
I thought it would be great.
They don't have the production. AEW is secretly using DDP Yoga, his producers, to cut their stuff together.
Well, this is what I thought, Ben. This is why I was so disappointed in the company.
Well, yeah. Well, this is because you got to start up in some graphics and an arena and good ring aprons and a good stage presence doesn't mean you have the production team in place to put out fucking cinematic shit. It's all smoke and mirrors, right? So they got the smoke and mirrors, but that doesn't mean they have the creative chops, production team, or ability to go in and produce something. This again, and then Matt's coming in and he's got to make buddies with Khan. Instead, you know what I mean? To like get him comfortable, and Khan wants to be one of the boys, instead of going right up to me like, here's what I have planned. Here's what I need budget-wise. I can't bump anymore. Let me facilitate. Here's what I'm thinking for these three guys that I can fold into my Broken Universe and have something ready to pitch. And if Khan ain't going to bite on it, then what are you going to fucking do? Now you're wasting Matt Hardy and what his real value is. And you just take the paycheck because you got three sons and fucking do what he wants you to do. Unfortunately, that's climbing up a fucking light rigging truss and getting your head smacked off the fucking concrete because he thinks this is a video game. Meanwhile, this guy's got 20 years of punches on his fucking bump card and shouldn't be bumping for nobody. So that's just dealing with amateurs, bro. That's dealing with, guys who are holding together with duct tape and bubble gum. Because if AEW had all their faculties and everything in play, they would have a whole production team under their own, and they wouldn't have to be going and secretly using Louis, but Cody doesn't want to be in the building when Louie's there, and this guy's over here doing this, and we have these secret. It's just all. Once you get into that, how are you supposed to produce anything creatively incredible if you've got all these little weird fucking things you got to go through, bro? So my advice is take $500,000 of your $7 billion, get a real production team in line, and let's start fucking doing everything in AEW in-house. If you've got these studios that you claim in Tennessee that are recording studios that you're involved in and all that kind of shit, why is fucking footage not being uploaded to a fucking Dropbox site and downloaded right to those studios in Tennessee and being put to work with a production team of Matt Schaffer, 4VKM, me, a couple others, and bringing in the fucking talent like a Matt to fucking be able to do his own thing. Like it's all like, don't look over here to the audience, you know what I mean? And then when people do expose it, like, even though that Louis Mark is weird and what he was saying was way out of line and, suspect, closet, queer, whatever, like, it doesn't shorten the fact that these guys are using up marks until they don't have any worth, and then they kick them aside and find some new ones. That's not the best way to put together a team of professionals and get a top rated product. Put together a team of pros, have them working on it full time, and then you'll see a difference in no meat left on the fucking bone when you want to fucking have the right story told.
No bread, no water, just meat. That's all he wants. That's all he needs.
Shucky ducky quack quack. So, Ben, 2020 is over. The El Rey Network is dead. Lucha Underground will probably never come back. And somebody who else isn't coming back, we're going to go off with this. There was a gentleman who was a prominent wrestling writer who wrote an article over the last day or two, and he got fired. What's the Iggy on that? Do you know?
Mitchell, was it Mitchell got fired? He was trying to, this thing with Brody, and even everyone I talk to are super close friends of mine and his, and it's super tough on him because there isn't a thing like, oh, COVID, you know what I mean? And
right.
People kept it supposedly close to the chest, so close I didn't know. I had no idea that he was ill at all. And he talks to Josh 2, 3, 4 times a week from 2CW.
Who's he? Brody
Lee.
Okay.
So, because Josh has had a lot of health issues too, and there's like a circle of us that are like trying to make sure these guys stay alive, Right. So I didn't know anything either. And Bruce Mitchell tries to elude that it was COVID, I guess, or he knows, or there's rumors. Why won't they tell? And it's mysterious. And it was just in bad taste in the 24 hours after his announced death. Now, is Bruce Mitchell a mark and trying to stir shit? Yeah, but he's also a journalist and wants, because there's a lot of us that leave us scratching our heads going, if this isn't COVID or anything like that, what did happen? And how did it happen so fast to a guy so full of life? Right. And, that's not even for us to really ask. That's just us being wrestling fans thinking we have to know every little fucking thing about everybody's life. And his wife just put out a statement and still doesn't, not that she needs to say what it was. It says that it was not COVID, and like to try and put this to bed in a classy way. As much as she's hurting, this woman has to fucking put out a statement to the sheets. Are you kidding me, bro? Like that alone, you're out of here, dude. The fact that you caused that, you're out of here. And it just shows that weird, socially strange wrestling fans who get to be the fucking voice of wrestling, whether it's a Bruce Mitchell, a Closet Keller, androgynous Bixen Span, or a fucking weird Meltzer, get to be the voice of wrestling. These guys don't have the couth to deal with the human existence on a day-to-day basis. That's why they're the king of these little weirdo cliques, bro. So I don't really give a fuck if he is out. Even after that, he was tweeting out this weird shit about being a free bird and all this shit. Like, dude, hang him up. Like that's why people like this don't even they shouldn't be in the locker room, let alone shouldn't even be allowed to be around guys in the locker room. They should be ticket buyers out in the stands. But the reality is Khan is paying these guys for positive press and all that shit all the time. I don't know if PW Torch is, because if they are, all that Khan had to do was call and go, this guy's gone, or else I'm not paying you anymore. And this guy's fucking gone. So, yeah, man, it's as classless and as mark as it can be in the early hours of it. Just tasteless. Is the question he's asking bullshit? No, it's not, because I want to know what happened to my friend too. And I know a lot of my friends who are even closer with him are hurting badly. And it's not like that information is going to fucking make them feel good, but it might give them a little bit of psychological closure. You know what I mean? And even if I find out and it's not out there, I'm not going to put it out either.
I actually in the chat I posted the transcript of the Bruce Mitchell article, and you guys can judge for yourself. I also thought it was in extremely poor taste. The last thing you want to do is have to justify the death of somebody who's your world, who's everything to you,
to strangers,
to people that, I mean, nobody else matters. You know who matters? His sons and his wife. That's it. And for what I know and for what I've seen and from what you guys have told me, and again, I've never met the guy. I've never had a great relationship. I've never had a relationship with him, but I do have a connection. That being that when he came into the WWE, my son was very, very young, and the Wyatt family, along with Kane, and those type of characters, my son took a liking to them. I have like freaking 3 different Brody Lee action figures in my house that my son won't get rid of. He was one of his favorite wrestlers. There was something that connected him to him, and I'm connected to Brody Lee because of my son's love for him and that character. And then on top of the fact that you guys put him over so much as a family man, you go on his social media, you go on the YouTube, and you see the way his kids look at him. Like, this is the way I judge somebody. The way the kids, like, you could tell the love that his boys had for him, and the love that his wife, and the funny thing is that I went back on, because I followed her even before all this happened. I followed both of them on Instagram. And if you go as far back as years ago, she's always putting over how he's the love of her life, and just really kind, sweet, genuine, statements that she would put on with these pictures. And it was so real. And then, like I said, from what I see, what I hear, and what I know from you guys that actually had a personal relationship or working relationship with him, this is a huge loss. And the fact that this person, Bruce Mitchell, would take it upon himself and go into what's the whole term that he went into work for himself, or
business for himself.
Business for himself. He went to business for himself, and he got fucked. The guy's been with PW Torch for how long? And because he wants to do an opinion based shock article about somebody who's absolutely beloved by everybody in the wrestling world,
and just way too soon. Just like, and like, that shows how delusional this guy is, where he's just come through a whole year of cancel culture, and he thought that was the right fucking thing to press send on. You know what I mean? Like, you can't wait, and you know what's gonna come back around. It's just a bad look. And to lose your job at the Sheets, whatever it cost him, it cost him. Maybe he'll start his own thing, but who knows, man? People aren't going to forget that kind of shit at the end of the day. And I saw a classy move. Got to put Khan over. Got to put him over.
Yes.
Signed his kid. So just in a time where the kid, I'm sure, can't even comprehend what is going on, and it's going to be hard for him his whole life. But he's got all those dudes in Rochester and UPW and 2CW and ESW and Buffalo backing him now. And when this kid hits 15, 16, he's going to be on the rise that way. And he's going to have a lot of big brothers and older brothers to fucking be like, hey, dude, your dad was the fucking man, and I'm here to watch out for you, bro. No one's going to fuck with you, and you're going to learn how to do this shit the right way. So I know that Brody, wherever he is or wherever he isn't, can rest easy knowing that, because whether it's Captain Nick Ando, Colin Delaney, Cheech, Josh, the 2CW squad, Pepper Parks, fucking all those guys, Super Beast, Dewey, all those guys are going to be there for that kid no matter what, dude. And there was other classy moves. Punk and Foley donating all of their pro wrestling tees fucking sales to the family. You know, I mean, those guys got plenty.
I didn't know about that, by the way.
Yeah, they are. So very cool that way to do that. But that kid's going to be a monster heel, because at the last house party I was at, Brody had him going around punching people in the balls, and I got it twice. I think Cheech got it about 15 times that night from a 5-year-old, right hook right to the nuts. So this kid's ready to fucking rock and roll. So maybe when I retire, I'll put him over and he can be my last match.
I didn't watch AEW not because I didn't want to watch it. I wanted to watch it for the Brody Lee thing. I'm not good with this type of shit, you know, when it comes to
see, no one's good with it, but I lost my buddy Hooch at age 35 to a tragic heart attack, and he had 3 kids. My buddy Bill, car crushed him at age 21 in his fucking driveway while he was working on it. I've been through some tragic shit. So to me, I just kind of get that breathless feeling where other people I know are floored because this is like the big first loss that's close to them. So I'm not like, oh, I've been through it, but I've had that shit. I've been drummed in the ground twice. So a third time for me is just kind of like, yeah, I get it, man. It's fucking bullshit.
You know, and to sign off really quickly, I posted on social media when Brody Lee passed away that you know, people outside of the wrestling universe, whether you're AEW fan, WWE fan, whatever Impact Wrestling fan, NWA fan, people outside that aren't fans of this business or aren't in this business will never understand our connection with those people that we see every single day that come into our homes twice a week. We follow them on social media. We interact with them on social media. And there is a connection there, and there is a loss, and people are mourning the loss of Brody Lee. Because I remember when Eddie Guerrero passed away, that emotionally affected me, dude. You know, Owen Hart, but Eddie Guerrero was special to me. It and people, you know, I've heard people say, well, why are you like, I have
Chris Farley. I'll never get over Chris Farley and John Candy.
Right. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, look, you know, when your favorite TV actor dies or passes away tragically, you know, it breaks your heart. This is the same thing. And, you know, hey, guys, I wouldn't be opposed. Go on social media, send love. You know what I'm saying? If you want to donate to the family, do that as well. Dude, Brody gave a ton to this business, and from what I understand, he was a penny pincher, and he saved a lot of money, and he did it all for his kids and his wife.
Shoot something off though. You know, we all Smiths or whatever. The boys have a fucking Bob Hope dope smoke, and fucking Brody would throw down with us, no problem there. But in WWE, when you get popped, they'll fucking fine you $2,000. So Brody would take his fucking T-shirt bonus money or whatever it was and cut off part of that just to have a fucking fund to pay his weed fine. so you wouldn't have to fucking do any bullshit. So that always popped me, bro. Like a couple of those guys would do that. And I got to put over my boy APOC, Rick Victor of the Ascension, and Brian Myers, Kurt Hawkins, because they took shots at WWE for not fucking doing a 10-bell salute. I mean, this guy just left. And those guys know that that's a vindictive choice to just show a graphic instead of putting this fucking guy over, John Huber, not Brody Lee, John Huber. And Brian Myers called him on it. Rick Victor retweeted it and said, you know, one final fuck you on the way out. That's how they work. And I know those guys are both hurting. Those are two of the guys I'm also referring to, along with the Rochester crew, who love that fucking guy and spent a lot of road miles with him. And I'm glad they stood up and spit in the face of WWE of their bullshit. So there's some things that are too soon, but there's some things that need to be called out. And a lot of guys don't have the balls to do it because they don't want the repercussions to come back and fuck them later. So big up to those two guys for being men and fucking saying what they needed to say online openly and being in a, we see you and how petty you are in this shit as well. They had that whole WWE fucking special they did on him. They could have cut together a 5-minute best of out of that, bro.
That's what I thought.
That would have been classy. And instead they come off as petty fucking cocksuckers. And this is right on the heels of losing his own best friend, Pat Patterson, fucking 3 weeks beforehand. And you're going to come back with that. What a fucking vindictive, disgraceful motherfucker.
Do you think at all that there was a sense of guilt? Hear me out. I don't know what the relationship was with Brody and the McMahon family before he left. You think maybe they felt that they weren't in a position to say much?
No,
you know what I mean?
No,
okay.
Not that to them is not only a slap in the face of him, but a message to the locker room of if you cross us, fuck you. We're not gonna. If you can't make us money right now as a legend or an active talent, and you crossed us, we're gonna do what we need to do at the most low level. And maybe not, because sometimes you hear about this shit with Vince. Maybe Vince has turned around and given, and I hope so. I hope he's given Amanda Huber $500,000, because what's that fucking cost him to make sure those kids are taken care of?
Well, I want to give a shout out to the WWE talent that did their own thing.
New Day, the fucking After the Bell,
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, Drew, all of them, bro, all of them. FTR. All dudes acting like men. Yep. And that's what this business needs. Not old vindictive motherfuckers or little kids acting like spoiled rotten brats. The men need to step up here.
Yeah. Well, Ben, it's been one hell of a 2020, one hell of a year. It's been a great year for Hamin Media. And let's leave on a positive note. Through all this tragedy, through all of the things that were so negative, we've been able to grow our fan base. We've been able to make great connections, reconnections with people, establish relationships, and set up foundations for new relationships moving forward for the next, God willing, couple of decades, man. And dude, man, this is 2020. Yeah, we had to stay in. We had to stay home. We had to wear masks. You might have to take that gimmick in your arm to get back to work and shit. But, through this tragedy, dude, I know, me either. But through this tragedy, hey, dude, I think we got closer to the people that we listened to.
100%. We were set up for success to be timed right for people to be on house arrest. Not like it was our plan, but as content creators, we had everything set up, thankfully, to flourish and hopefully keep people informed and keep people entertained and staving off depression or whatever it is, keep people inspired to do fitness. I mean, your fitness journey inspires me every day. Every pic you post keeps me more pumped up, bro, to get off my ass and keep working harder. So it's about the community we've built online that's global, from Australia to UK to Canada, US, man. We got views in Estonia. So you never know what life you're changing, bro. One in Jamaica yesterday. So you never know whose life you're influencing as we just sit here on the mic, and wrestling ties us all together. It's a universal bond, and we want to see it succeed. And even if it doesn't, that gives us more to talk about. But it's free and independent media like this, and people who are going to patreon.com/Hamin Media Group that keep everything running. You know what I mean? That keep RIP supported, that keep all that kind of stuff that we can have. Me working X amount of hours a day, so I don't have to go get a fucking job where my creative's going to somebody else's dollar, Yeah. And hopefully we can get it to that Joe Rogan point where Spotify comes to us with $50 million fucking dollars, and then watch out, So it's been a wonderful year with every community interactor, with every producer, with every propaganda maker, every Twitter bomber, all the co-hosts, all the producers, all the guest hosts, all the guests that we've had this year. It's just been an unbelievable year as we head towards 3 million downloads. And it's undeniable that hard work and a group mind can get us farther than we ever thought we could be. And I hope that other industries in the wrestling industry can pull from that. And it's not just lip service of good brotherhood in the wake of losing one of our own, but we can actually take a step forward and move this thing back up the mountain from the low levels we've been at.
To tell you, man, for a show where we didn't review a show, I thought this was a pretty damn good Impact Attack.
Phenomenal conversation, Ray, with you as always.
My brother, I love you very much, Ben. And when you said the other day when you were talking on the Monday locker room, if I'm correct, when you were with Ted and with RBV, and how we have to appreciate who we have with us now. You know what I'm saying? Because tomorrow's never promised. Basically,
100%.
It puts you right in my heart. Put all our listeners right in my heart. Put my family right in my heart. My son. I got my new son, Baby Yoda, back here, aka Groku. You guys mean a lot to me, man. This is why, I had to take that time to myself to reevaluate my life and do my own thing on the side, and then come back home to Hamin Media.
You can always come back home here. Isn't that what I say with everybody? If Jargo needs time off, or if anybody, dude, I'm not gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, I get it. It's life. You guys put in a lot of hours on your own time for this, and if things happen that way, how could I ask any more loyalty than you guys already give?
But 2021, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a damn good year for all of us. I'm going to put that out in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Put that out in the universe, and my prayers and my thoughts are with the Brody Lee family, John Huber, his family, and Ben, man, dude. 2021 is next week, so next week it'll be a whole new year, a whole new movement for the Hamin Army, and I am excited to be a part of this family, and I'm excited to do a hell of a lot more here at Hamin Media, and a hell of a lot more personally. So, with that being said, I wanted to thank all the fans, all the friends, and do yourselves a favor if you haven't already. Head over to Hamin Media and on whatever podcast platform, and check out Billy Ray Valentine's interview with Jim Johnson. That shit
absolutely.
that was fucking epic. If you don't know, he had the writer. Guys, you grew up watching wrestling. I'm talking about this guy wrote all of the major hits: Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Jake the Snake Roberts. The list goes on and on. And the fucking most unbelievable thing, Jim Johnson says, "Oh, hold on, Billy Ray, let me play this for you." And he's playing DX on his guitar. He's playing The Undertaker's original theme in piano and then on organ. Dude, it is possibly one of my favorite interviews of this year or anytime. Fantastic job, Billy Ray Valentine. Love you, brother. Big middle finger to you. That's me, him, and Colin. I love you guys with all my heart. Ben, man, let's sign off, dude.
Y'all up, man. Appreciate everybody who's going to thebrosters.com and getting that coffee. They just hit me up today. They're excited for 2021 as well. All the pro wrestling tees sales, you guys, we appreciate that. ZordoSoliveOil.com, our man Triple D on the Academy podcast. All the affiliates from NFO, Suck My Balls, formerly Cage Theory, and wherever else is and wherever else we're going to expand and beyond in 2021. Schmoozing and boozing, me and Man Beast tying one on, infidels. But y'all, it's your final impact attack of 2020. Let's burn it all down. I might get to light the fuse over here as well, infidels, because it's demolition time. Hacker Hamin, Big Ray, and Groku. Y'all.